The License Committee is not meeting tonight because we do not have any committee business at this time. We'll meet at the next appropriate time.
I know, you're all waiting on me. I was ready just a second ago. Public Works has no business tonight.
I'd like to call the finance meeting to order.
That's what Jay said. Jay said talk to Peter. Jay told us.
But I don't see any finance business. Committee meeting, June 22nd, finance business. It is 6:03. Sitting on this committee are Councilor Reynolds and I. Councilor Cobus is absent. Just a few things, all rather routine. From the docket of July 20th, 2023, I entertain a motion to authorize the school department to pay a fiscal year 22 bill for $45.50 for a hold financial services.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Second.
Thank you. They're getting in just under the wire, so it's June 22nd. The new fiscal year starts in 10 days.
10 days, okay.
9 days, 8 days, and the bill is due. You have any questions,
I have
comments?
none.
Okay, all motions in order, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. From the docket of July 20th, 2023, I entertain a motion to transfer of $220,000 from account 1124100-578380, citywide reserve for capital, to account 1124100-599300, citywide transfer to capital fund, and further to transfer the $220,000 to fund 3525 Munis and Tech Upgrade.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Reynolds. Munis is the software that we use to do the administration of the city, so it does the billing, it does the payroll, it does the all of the background files for the auditor, the treasurer, and the assessor. And the city is upgrading from an older version to a new version, and it involves more money than they had originally thought, so there's $220,000 going into the kitty. The alternative is to change software vendors, which no one wants to do. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, motion's in order. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. From the docket of July 20th, 2023, I entertain a motion to appropriate $9,598.77 of available free cash from account 100-359000, general government, undesignated fund balance to fund 2276 FEMA special to cover winter storm expenses not reimbursed by FEMA.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Reynolds. The event was in January of 2022. It was a snowstorm between January 20th and 29th. We submitted to FEMA $245,413.49. They approved all of it except for this amount, so we are left on the hook for this. Any questions, comments, conclusions? The motion's in order. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. And lastly, from the docket of June 20th, 2023, entertain a motion to waive allowable permit fees associated with the Willis School Elementary roof and window repairs. Therefore, the mayor hereby requests Ronald Bob to waive the following fees: building permit, 100%; mechanical fees, 100%; sheet metal building permit fees, 100%; electrical permit fees, 35%; plumbing, 35%; and gas, 35%.
Second.
Thank you. This is getting in just under the wire, because they're gonna start working on that roof, I think, in 2 weeks. And it doesn't make sense to charge the contractors the fee that the city just gets back anyway, so. It should have been left out of the request for proposals, and it wasn't. It's a slight omission, so we have to pass this to get the fees waived. Any questions? Seeing none, motion's in order. All in favor say aye. Aye. That motion passes unanimously. That completes the business that the Finance Committee has this evening, unless you have something you wish to discuss. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Thank you. Motion's in order. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion, the Finance Committee is adjourned at 6:08. Thank you.
I call Transportation and Traffic Committee to order at 6:08. Present this evening for committee are Councilors Dolan and Tavares. Welcome to the committee, Councilor Tavares. One motion for this evening. I entertain a motion to approve the following: an amendment request to 10-5.2A of the ordinances prohibited on certain streets to add Frank Mossberg Drive, 650 feet northerly side from Townsend to Extension Street.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments?
No.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. That concludes the business for Transportation and Traffic Committee for this evening. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 6:09.
I'd like to call City Property and Claims Committee to order at 6:09. From the docket of July 20th, 2023, I entertain a motion to declare the following as surplus and available for disposition: 2 fabric office chairs in fair condition, 2 club armchairs in fair condition, 1 fabric love seat fair condition, 1 True Manufacturing Company fridge is inoperable, and 1 Toshiba microwave in fair condition.
Second.
Thank you. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes. That is all the business the City Property and Claims has today. I'd like to call for an adjournment at 6:10.
Second?
Thank you. We are adjourned at 6:10.
I was trying to delay. All right, I call Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee to order at 6:10. Councilors present, and Council Waterman and Council Blair. All right. From the docket of July 20th, 2023, I entertain a motion to accept a donation of $90 in Stop and Shop gift cards from Frank McKenzie of Attleboro to the Veterans Office.
Second.
Thank you, sir. Obviously, this is, we love it. This is great. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. McKenzie. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. From the docket of July 18th, 2023, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor for a 3% COLA increase in the city's compensation plan, section 13-4.
Excuse me.
Yep.
There's a public, was there a public
Oh.
hearing
Oh,
scheduled?
geez, I'm sorry. I thought that we were past the 27th. All right, scratch that. All right, so that is all the business for Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services. I call for adjournment at 6:11.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 6:11. Thank you. Council Blair.
I call ordinances, elections, and legislative matters to order at 6:11 p.m. Members present for this committee are myself and Councilor Conti. Tonight we have 2 pieces of business. So the first, from the docket of July 20, 2023, I entertain a motion to authorize the use of $3,600 from account 116210000-534210 elections postage to mail census information cards.
Second.
So my understanding is back in December of 2020, $5,265 was transferred to elections postage for the purpose of the special elections, or at least they were used for the election in February and in June from a couple weeks ago. And this is additional money that was not used in that account, and Leslie would like to use that money for mailing census information cards. Are there any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. From the docket of July 20, 2023, I entertain a motion to transfer $57.64 from account 11621000532-015 election staff development to account 1162100571010 elections in-state travel to reimburse and it means, I should say, an employee.
Second.
Any questions, comments, or concerns?
None.
Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. That concludes the business for ordinances, elections, and legislative matters. I move to adjourn at 6:13 p.m.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 6:13.
Public Works Emergency Management has no business this evening.
The Committee on Special Taxation has no business this evening.
Oh, let's see. Committee for Special Classification Compensation has no business today. We call for a meeting at the next appropriate time.
That's a wrap.
Council to order at 6:22. Please join me for a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of
the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Holmes. Motion is in order. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We are now operating under suspended rules. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of June 6th and June 13th, 2023.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Holmes. Motion is in order. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Now entertain a motion to enter into committee of the whole.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are now in committee of the whole. There's no one in the audience. I think it's a safe assumption no one has any business to bring in front of the council this evening. Therefore, I would entertain a motion to arise from committee of the whole.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. I will now go on to a reading of the mayor's communication. Madam Clerk.
Would you like me to read the special meeting notice first?
That's probably a great idea.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
June 7th, 2023, to members of the Municipal Council from James Delisio, Council President. Councilors, by authority of Article 2, Section 2-7C of the Attleboro Home Rule Charter, I hereby call a special meeting of the Municipal Council as follows. Thursday, June 22nd, 2023, at 6 p.m. at 77 Park Street in Council Chambers to discuss any legal matters before the Council, specifically and to address any fiscal year 23 year-end votes. Sincerely, James Delisio, President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now, if you'd like to go into reading of the mayor's communication.
Yes, I would.
Appreciate it.
June 22nd, 2023, dear municipal councilors. For your information, as you are aware, on December 20th, 2022, your honorable body voted to appropriate $240,000 from 1000-359000 to Fund 3574 for repairs to the Police Department headquarters roof. Since that time, the scope of work has increased and the necessary roofing and building envelope repairs are anticipated to cost more than the original project appropriation. Conversations are ongoing and the total cost of the work remains undetermined. However, discussions with the OPM and the designer have made it clear that additional funding will be required for construction. Therefore, I would like to inform your honorable body a funding request for this project will be sent on the July communications copy in your packet.
Thank you. That'll go to the Finance Committee, please.
Sincerely, Kathleen DeSimone, Mayor.
We will now go into committee reports, and ordinarily we start with Councilor Waterman. There was a request made that we start with Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services, where we're operating under suspended rules. We will honor that this evening, so we will recognize Councilor Angelo.
Thank you, President Delisio. Grab a couple things here. For the docket of June 6, 2023, I move to approve the appointment of Pamela J. Brayman, 169 Night Ave, 210, to the Municipal Building Commission to fill an expired term to expire February 2026.
We need to hold on for a second.
I'll second that then.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Waterman. Motion is in order.
All right, Pamela spoke in front of the committee, and that's about all I have to say.
Any additional questions, comments, concerns?
I'd like to call for a roll call vote, please.
Very good. Any additional questions or comments? We will have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Waterman.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
No.
So let me just check that one off. Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Ms. Holmes?
No.
Ms. Reynolds?
No.
Mr. Angelo?
No.
Mr. Tavares?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
No.
President Delisio?
No.
Four yeas, 6 nays.
Motion fails. Councilor Angelo.
Thank you, President Delisio. Okay. from the docket of June 6, 2023, I move to, oh no, that was already done, I'm sorry. From the docket of March 7, 2023, I move to approve the following amendment, section 13-5.3, by deleting the below section in its entirety, section 13-5-3, last amended 11/6/2010, and replaced with the following, section 13-5-3, effective January 2nd, 2024, the annual salary of each member of the municipal council shall be $9,727. Effective January 7th, 2025, the annual salary of the municipal council shall be $11,727. Effective January 6th, 2026, the annual salary of each member of the municipal council shall be $13,727.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
The, basically, we're separating it, and from the prior amended version, and I think that's about all I have to say at the moment.
Council Holmes and Council Conti.
Thank you. Sorry about when I was trying to do the Zoom meeting, I felt like I was delayed, so I'm happy I'm here right now and able to speak on this. This is something that I strongly support and would encourage all my fellow councilors to vote in favor of. Basically, this will make the council more, will increase the diversity of the council, because right now, when we don't do that, people do depend on having a little bit of an income when they're working. They don't, otherwise we're gonna have all independently wealthy people on this council. That's not a way to represent the city. This will increase, it's such a small increase, and it will help to make it more desirable. We're in the middle of a huge transition right now. I don't know if you've noticed, not everybody's pulled out papers for at-large. Not everybody's returned papers. So we need to encourage people to want to be part of the council, and I do think that the pay is part of that. It hasn't been addressed in 10 years. I am a little disappointed, I'm very disappointed that the school committee is not part of that. And I know that New Bedford, their school committee is looking at getting the same pay as their city council. But every single surrounding city and town has been looking at this and increasing. We haven't done that for 10 years. And it is unfortunate that we're the body that has to vote on this, and then we're the ones that benefit from it, but it does need to be addressed, just like all the departments need to be addressed. And that concludes my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Conti, then Councilor Angelo.
So, I don't think this solves the problem. I'm going to support it because it's a Band-Aid, but it doesn't fix the problem. The problem is that we should be paid $20,000 in fiscal year '25, and we cannot increase our salary for ourselves, and I think everyone understands, and I think that's been covered very well. I would prefer to see a motion that would have to fix the problem, rather than gradually increasing it. Set the salary for the council effective January 6, 2026 for $20,000, and give the mayor 2 years to figure out how to put the money into the budget to be able to pay us a fair wage. But that isn't, I haven't been here, and I had that conversation with the mayor, and the mayor, likes to see everything happen gradually, but then the problem never goes away. So, in financial practice, I'm against this because it doesn't fix the problem. But I'm going to support it because it's a Band-Aid to get us through the next 3 terms, still underpaid and underappreciated. Not that this is a thankful job. And that'll conclude my comments.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Angelo.
Thank you, President Delacio. To Councilor Conti's point, completely understand 100% where you're coming from. And I apologize for not addressing that when I read this out, but I wanted to just see what everybody had to say first. So I did meet with the city solicitor and city auditor, and we discussed also about the discussion of what you had brought out and wanted me to question. We talked about that, and basically I got the same answer as what you did. It wasn't with the mayor, but it was with the city auditor, city solicitor. We did talk about attaching the salary of the council to the mayor's salary, 1/11 of it, and they advised not to do it right now because with the that's out to RFP for the compensation classification, we don't know where it's going to be. So they didn't want to attach it. They weren't comfortable attaching it to that yet. until after they figure that out. But they also said it is in the bylaws and everything in the charter, it is fine, we can do that. They did suggest, they offered the suggestion of, and I don't mean the mayor, because the mayor wasn't in this meeting, but they did offer the suggestion of, I think we all kind of said, maybe it'll be best for January 6, 2026. Once we get to that point, then we make another motion and we bring it to, attach it to the mayor's salary. So then the council doesn't have to worry about any increases and stuff. But also at the same time, we could address your point with being at 20,000, because with my research, I would have no issue, and I could easily satisfy or prove what your salary that you're talking about. I would have no problem with that, because every other comparison is doing 24 to 25 meetings, and we're meeting 48 times, approximately 45 to 48 times. So I could have no problem making a very good case for that. And to Council Holmes' point, the reason why it's separated with the school committee is because we need more time with the school committee. And there's other things we need to look at with the school committee, because once the school committee hits the 5,000, then other things kick in, and the city wasn't ready to attach that just yet, because then it kicks into other benefits and everything. But there's still more time that needs to be done with the school committee, and I want to make sure that when it gets done right, and it gets done fair for the school committee as well, and obviously fair for the city and the citizens of the city too as well. So that's not going to get buried. I'm going to continue to work on that and trying to work in conjunction with that, because if that was to happen now, the way the school budget is, that could possibly mean the money's going to have to come from somewhere out of the school budget, and that might not end that well, for some people. So that's about all I have to say right now, but I promise I will continue to work on that.
Additional questions or comments? Council Conti.
If I may, through the chair, address Councilor Angelo. We're aware that it used to be that way, that the councilors did get paid a percentage of the mayor's salary. And it changed with Mayor Dumas, because Mayor Dumas wanted to be paid much more money, and he didn't want the councilors to get paid any more money. And that's in the record, so you can find that when you go hunting. I am going to make a motion to amend your motion that the effective July 6, 2026, the annual salary of each member of the municipal council shall be $20,000.
Second.
And the reason why I've made that motion is because that does give the mayor plenty of time to budget for this, and it fixes the problem rather than puts a Band-Aid on it. And we can address the school committee separately, and we don't have to go back to this with a future council. We're not burdening future councils with another decision. Every time, Councilor Andrew, this comes up on this council, it is a contentious and ugly situation. I'd like to put an end to that. Just jump it to 20,000 in 2026, and we're fine for another 5 to 10 years, maybe, depending on what happens in the market. That concludes my comments.
Thank you. Additional comments on the amendment to change the amount for fiscal '26 from 13,727 to 20,000. Councilor Dolan.
So, I'd prefer to attach it to if we were intending on doing it in 2026, whomever's here, to attach it to the mayor's salary so that we can avoid this. I understand what you're saying about it being a Band-Aid and so on and so forth. I understand that. I think it would be easier, in my opinion, on everybody if it was attached to the mayor's salary at that point. So I don't feel comfortable supporting that amendment. Thank you.
Councilor Reynolds and Councilor Holmes.
So although I fully agree with everything that we all say here about the payment and whatnot, I feel that this has been contentious. We've talked about it. It's always contentious, as Councilor Conti says. However, I feel like even if it might be a Band-Aid, we should do it this way, get into the next term, and in the next term, because everything will have settled down, the mayor will have been upstairs for a while, we know what's going on. I know that the assessor, Deb Gould, said that the 2, 2, and 2 is what even she feels comfortable with, but we could always then suggest what you're suggesting, Rick, next year for 2027. So we do, right now, we have 24, 25, and 26. And the next term, when it's coming out here, we say, look, we have 2,000 by 27. We'd like to see it at 20,000. And that way we have a full complement of new people that are on here, and the decision can be made. It seems to me it takes us a while to sort this out, and it can get really ugly. And I think we're at a point that there was long discussions with the mayor, with the city solicitor, with even the new kid that's up there. I call him the new kid, but our new budget gentleman that's up there. And I just feel like we should move in the path that they are most comfortable with, and then do what you're saying next year. Hit it with that and see where everything else falls. I would be comfortable doing that. I wouldn't be comfortable jumping like that right now, is my own opinion, Rick.
Council Holmes?
Just a clarifying question, so are we talking about deleting 2024 and 2025 and is the motion just to change that, or is it to keep the 2 years and then the 26th year to jump up?
The motion is to keep the motion exactly as it is worded, but to change the
The last.
$13,727 to $20,000.
Councilor Angelo?
Thank you, President Delacio. I understand where you're coming from. I kind of echo Councilor Reynolds' words, and I think this just might be a little simpler right now, and then maybe we attack that at a later time. That's kind of, I'd feel a lot more comfortable doing that. That's about all I have to say.
Additional questions on the amendment? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Councilor Blair. This is just on the amendment, not the motion. This is just for the amendment for fiscal '26 to go from $13,727 to $20,000.
Mr. Blair,
No.
Mr. Tavares,
No.
Mr. Angelo,
Can I ask a question?
No.
Yes.
Miss Reynolds,
No.
Miss Holmes,
Yes.
Miss Bennett,
No.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Miss Dolan,
No.
Mr. Waterman.
No.
3 yeas.
President?
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, President Delacio, I apologize.
No.
3 yeas, 7 nays.
Amendment fails. We're back to the original motion. Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Councilor Waterman, and this is on the motion as presented.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Miss Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
No.
Miss Bennett,
Yes.
Miss Holmes,
Yes.
Miss Reynolds,
Yes.
Mr. Angelo,
Yes.
Mr. Tavares,
No.
Mr. Blair,
No.
President Delacio.
No.
Thank you. 6 yeas, 4 nays.
Motion passes. Councilor Angelo?
Okay, that's all there is for Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee, and I call for a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Councilor Waterman?
Almost forgot. License Committee, from the docket of July 18th, 2023, I would entertain a motion to approve the Ring a Bell application from Adam Pelagi of Pelagi Brothers Ice Cream, Delta Drive, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, for Hayward Field.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments?
I know we do this every year. It's very routine.
Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. And from the docket of July 18th, 2023, I would entertain a motion to approve the Ring a Bell application from Robert Pelagi of Pelagi Brothers Ice Cream, Delta Drive, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, for Hayward Field.
Second.
Thank you, Council Holmes. Motion is in order. Any comments?
None needed.
Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
And from the docket of July 18th, 2023, I entertain a motion to approve the Ring a Bell application from Alejandro Arteaga of Pelagi's 2000 Inc. of Bacon Street, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, for the streets of Attleboro.
Second.
Thank you, Counsel Holmes. Motion is in order. Any comments?
None needed either.
Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
And that concludes the business of the License Committee this evening. We'll meet at the next appropriate time. Thank you.
Thank you, Counsel Waterman. Counsel Dolan.
Thank you. Reporting for Public Works Committee from the docket of July 18th, 2023. I entertain a motion to transfer $4,064 from account Water Enterprise Fund Reserve Fund for transfer to account Water Enterprise Fund Professional Services for police details on hydrant flushing.
Second.
Thank you, Counsel Holmes. Motion is in order. Any comments?
No comments, and I'd like to thank Council Blair for doing my motions for me last week. He explained it that they're doing nighttime hydrant flushing and they need police details.
Great. Thank you. Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Counsel Waterman.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. Tavares?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
From the docket of June 6, 2023, I move to approve the following loan order. Ordered that $3,500,000 is appropriated for the design, permitting, bidding, construction, and construction oversight costs associated of the temporary PFAS treatment facility located at the Wading River plant located at 250 Balcom Street, Mansfield, Mass., including all costs incidental or related thereto, that to meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow $3,500,000 under Section 8(4) of Chapter 44 of the General Laws or any other enabling authority, and that the mayor is authorized to take any other necessary or convenient to carry out this project.
Second.
Thank you, Counsel Holmes. Motion is in order. Any comments?
We had the public hearing last week, and we've been discussing this, and this is for the temporary PFAS in Mansfield, the temporary building, excuse me.
Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Counsel Blair.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Mr. Tavares?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
That's all the business for Public Works, and I'd like to call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you, Counsel Dolan. Counsel Conti.
Thank you, Mr. President. For reporting for the Finance Committee from the docket of July 20th, 2023. I move to authorize the school department to pay a fiscal year 22 bill for $45.50 for A-Hole Financial Services.
Second.
Thank you, Counsel Reynolds. Motion is in order. Any comments?
We described in detail 1 hour ago.
Okay. Additional questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Counsel Waterman.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. Tavares?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the docket of July 20th, 2023, I move to transfer $220,000 from the citywide reserve for capital account to the citywide transfer to capital account, and to further transfer the $220,000 to Fund 3525 Munis and Tech Upgrade.
Second.
Thank you, Counsel Holmes. Motion is in order. Any comments?
Now, we described this in full about 1 hour ago.
Thank you, sir. Additional questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Counsel Blair.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Mr. Tavares?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the docket of July 20th, 2023, I move to appropriate $9,598.77 of available free cash from the general government undesignated fund balance account to the Fund 2276 FEMA Special to cover the winter storm expenses not reimbursed by FEMA.
Thank you, Counsel Bennett. Motion is in order.
I have no comments. That was described in detail 1 hour ago.
Thank you. Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Counsel Waterman.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. Tavares?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the docket of June 20th, 2023, I move to waive allowable permit fees associated with the Willett Elementary roof and window repairs. Therefore, the mayor hereby requests the honorable body to waive the following fees: the building permit 100%, mechanical 100%, sheet metal 100%, electric 35%, plumbing 35%, and gas 35%.
Second.
Thank you, Council Holmes. Motion is in order. Any comments?
None whatsoever.
Additional questions, concerns? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with, I forgot,
Mr. Blair.
Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Mr. Tavares.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
That concludes the business the Finance Committee has to bring before the council this evening. We look forward to a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Councilor Bennett.
Thank you. Reporting for Transportation and Traffic Committee this evening, one item for the council. From the docket of June 6, 2023, I move to approve the following: an amendment request to 10-5.2A of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, prohibited on certain streets, to add Frank Mossberg Drive, 650 feet northerly side from Townsend to Extension Street.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Blair. Motion is in order. Any comments?
No, this was discussed in committee. Thank you.
Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have roll call vote beginning with Councilor Waterman.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes, excuse me. Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Mr. Tavares.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
That concludes the Business, Transportation, and Traffic Committee for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Holmes.
For reporting for IT and Infrastructure Committee, there's no business this evening. We'll call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you.
And for Zoning and Land Use Committee, no business this evening, and call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Councilor Reynolds.
From the docket of July 20th, 2023, I move to declare the following as surplus and available for disposition. And I named all these less than a half an hour ago. They're all fair and in operable condition. It's office chairs, a refrigerator, and a microwave.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Additional questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Mr. Tavares.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
That is all the business City Property and Claims Committee has this evening, but I would like to call a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you, Councilor Reynolds. Councilor Tavares.
Thank you, Mr. President. Reporting for ordinances, elections, and legislative matters, we have two items tonight. From the docket of July 20, 2023, I move to authorize the use of $3,600 from account 1162100534210 elections postage to mail census information cards.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Holmes. Motion is in order. Any comments?
So my understanding is these are just surplus funds from postage that was used for mail-in ballots for the special elections that are now being requested to be used for mailing census information cards.
Great. Additional questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Councilor Waterman.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Mr. Tavares.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
From the docket of July 20, 2023, I move to transfer $57.64 from account 1162100532015 elections staff development to account 1162100571010 elections in-state travel to reimburse an employee.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Holmes. Motion is in order. Any comments?
This is just a reimbursement for an employee.
All right. Additional questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, we'll have roll call vote beginning with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Mr. Tavares.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
That concludes the business of ordinances, elections, and legislative matters for tonight. I call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Well done on your committee as well as your committee reports. Very well. Counselor Blair.
Public Safety Emergency Management has nothing this evening. Request committee meet at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Counselor Conti.
Special Committee on Taxation has no business to bring before the council this evening. We request a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you, sir. Counselor Angelo.
Thank you, President Delicio. We have no business special committee for compensation classification. Call for meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. There is no old business, there is no new business. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? We adjourned at 6:52. Thank you.
I am you.